Thank you very much for the honor of being here today and for having honored me. I really would like to thank Professor Yalman and Professor Shanley, the members of the Board of Trustees and Overseers, the members of the faculty, the Rami and esteemed members of the Koch family, and you, dear students. Today is your day. It's been since 2019 that you haven't had a physical ceremony. So we're very blessed to be here today, and I'm very, very happy to be here. It is a true pleasure to take part of this ceremony. It's a moment of joy. You're all graduating from the class of 2022. And today is the first and foremost your celebration. After years of study, you are all about to begin a new journey. A journey that will be full of novelties, experiences, and learnings. My warmest congratulations is to all of you. You have earned this achievement, and you should be proud of it. I would also like to spare a warm thought for your families, as many of your loved ones are here to celebrate with you. And for many years, they have supported and accompanied you, helping you to achieve your goal. So a very warm congratulations to you and to all of your families. There is a second reason why I'm happy to be here today, which is related to my family history. In the late 30s, my maternal grandfather, Filippo Caracciolo, worked in your country, in Turkey, and was assigned to the Italian embassy in Ankara. In the memoirs of my grandmother, Marella, there is a small section recalling her train journey when she was 11 from Italy to Istanbul. As she made her way to your capital to join her father, the charm of your country, which strongly captivated her as a child and has remained unchanged to this day, and continues to amaze my family and myself with its beauty and unique and unparalleled history. A few years later, the opportunity arose to forge bonds between my family's business activities and Turkey, and to start a relationship with a strong and reliable partner such as the Koch family. It began in agriculture machinery back in 1962 with Turk Tractor, which started assembly in Ankara. Then it evolved in a joint participation in 1967 in Turk Tractor, and then many more companies, which were established in producing industrial vehicles, buses, and in 1968, Tofaş, for the manufacturing of cars and other vehicles, was founded. Today, our industrial activities in Turkey, in partnership with Koç Holding, span from tractors to cars to construction equipment and buses, with 4 production plants and an extensive engineering, sales, and marketing capability with more than 10,000 employees. I want to thank you for the opportunity of being here with all of you and discover the university founded by Weby Koch, which bears witness to the commitment of his descendants in the field of education. Another common theme that links our families. In 1984, a few years before the foundation of this university, Weby Koch clearly described his vision about education. If we look around us today, we see that countries of the modern world are making rapid advances in all areas of science and are racing towards new discoveries in outer space. In order for us to close the gap and in preparation for the future, we must educate our young people in the best way possible. Today, those words evoke not just the commitment of a philanthropist, but a real plan of action that was both pragmatic and far-sighted. What was already true then is even more so today, because the ongoing technological revolution is changing every aspect of our life. Just looking at the automotive industry, where the speed of change is impressive. Electrification, autonomous driving, shared mobility, connectivity, and much more. How to respond to these major challenges that are transforming our world and the world of mobility. Many initiatives are beginning, and we feel the same pioneering spirit today in our industry than what occurred at the end of the 18th century, beginning of the 19th century, when those pioneers dreamt to give mankind the ability to move everywhere, quickly and freely. Today, the dream has remained the same, but the scale and ambitions has changed, not only after more than a century in which the car has gone from being the privilege of a few to a means available to all. We have developed a different awareness, where individual needs must take into account also the sustainability of all our behaviors. Many automotive companies presented in these recent years what they want to do in the future, in which they want to take a leadership role also in making sure that we are a leader in decarbonization in order to contribute to one of the bigger and major challenges we have, how to operate in a decarbonized world. Stellantis announced ambitious plans by 2038 to be net zero and reducing by 50% its emission by the end of this decade. We also have ambitious plans in other companies. Ferrari last week announced a very clear plan on how to become carbon neutral by 2030 and unveiling its first electric vehicle in 2026. But also our other companies like CNHI or Iveco Group are themselves working on very clear plans to make sure that they can provide solutions that not only are better than the ones today, but are also very carefully made to respect our environment. In hydrogen, fuel cell, and biomethanes technologies as an example. In addition to the topic of decarbonization, our companies have made firm commitments to lead in other important challenges, such as the digitization of mobility systems, raising safety standards, and the development of autonomous driving applications. It is certainly a very complex set of challenges, but also exciting ones, which are attracting the best talents from all corners of the world. I see this pole every day with my own eyes. I was appointed to the Fiat board in 1997, and in 25 years, I have experienced firsthand many changes in our industry. I clearly remember that for many years, the top career choices of the best graduates like you regularly fell in other sectors: telecommunication, technology, finance, among others. But today, something has changed. After many years, talented young students, like all of you, are very interested in the automotive world. Working in an industry has becoming very exciting. And those of you who will choose to work in our industry can be sure that if you have talent, abilities, but more importantly, if you are interested in challenges, you will have great satisfaction to what is happening, both in terms of change, both in terms of what is being invented, but also the incredible transformation that we're being part of. I focused a lot today on the theme of the environment because the protection of our planet is the most important challenge we will be facing for the upcoming years. One that involves all its inhabitants, both young and old. If you take ESG, which means environmental, social, and governance, the E, which stands for environment, is the first letter, and it's about how we make sure to combat the risks on climate change. We have spent a lot of time thinking about this topic, and we believe that the best contribute we can do to the environment is, as mentioned before, to make sure that we operate and that we build product that will be carbon-free. On the G front, the governance front, it refers to our desire to focus on increasing diversity and inclusion. Inside all of our companies, we want to make sure that we hire and empower a diverse talent pool, and that's a priority for us. We are already among industry leaders. For instance, Ferrari was the first Italian company to be awarded the Equal Salary Certificate for providing equal pay to men and women with the same qualification and positions in the company. And this is even more so important, as we can see also today, by a good diversity that you all represent. The social pillar, the S, is centered for us around education, which is a true passion that we have both as a family and for our companies. The Agnelli Foundation, which is the philanthropic organization founded by my family, has been focusing all of its activities on education. It carries out studies, research, and experimental initiatives. All of our largest companies are also aligned with this priority. We not only have internal scholarship programs, support institutions, but we're also very focused in trying to see how we can apply research to practice. For example, we studied a lot how schools should be, what is the right way in which schools should be constructed. And then we decided to build, after that research, a school. And these forms of contributions are the ones that we believe in, how to put concept into practice. We also have initiatives like one of which we're very proud of, Innovation for Change, which has been done with CERN, where we give challenges linked to sustainability to young students for them to come up with ideas and projects to work on. How can we find clever solutions that can be commercially viable, but also can provide real and effective ways of addressing some of the challenges that we have from the environmental standpoint. As you can see, education is not only something that we believe in, but it also a real passion that we have both as a family and companies, which is why being here today at the Koç University means a lot to me personally. At this point, dear students, after so many years you have spent with books, you're about to leave them behind and finally enter the world of work. Going to maybe offices, in plants, in shops, in hospitals, construction sites, laboratories, not anymore in classrooms. But I want to give you an advice that what you have learned during your years at school and then at university is very important, because what you have learned in these years is to learn. And that is something that you will need. And you need to make sure that as you continue as you start and continue your professional life, you never forget what you have learned here, which is to learn. I also would like to give you a piece of advice as you start thinking about the world of work. You will soon be assigned tasks, or perhaps also many tasks, consistent with what you have studied. You will then be required to perform these tasks diligently and accurately. And you will have many more of them. But my advice is not to limit yourself only to this. It's to keep your head up, to try and quickly figure out how you can make sure that you are useful, that you're valuable to the organization in which you work. And that even that if you have achieved what was asked, that you make sure that you can do more. Because the usefulness of the work will not only depend on how you execute on the tasks that were assigned, but really on your abilities to understand how you can help the organization for which you work. I also want to share with you something that I have lived as I've been working now for more than 25 years, which is how important it is to be open to the unexpected. Because most of the things that you think will happen or should happen often don't. And what is very important is to be open not only to what you think is going to happen as you carry forward your work, but to the many things that you were not and you won't be predicting. And as you progress in your career, what are really valuable moments are also the ones that are the difficult ones. And your abilities to overcome frustrations, to overcome challenges, to overcome all of that in a creative, in a positive way, is really what will make you stronger and what will make you more interested in the work that you will be doing. Let me add one last special piece of advice, which probably does not apply to all of you, but it is an encouragement I'd like to address to who of you wants to become an entrepreneur, thinking about the founder of Koç Holding, Webi Koç, and the Koç University we are in here today. And I strongly believe that we are in a very interesting moment in which being able to create and to become an entrepreneur, particularly linked to technologies that today exist, is something that is important also to discover. And we have been very active in Italy in trying to stimulate more entrepreneurship and more technological entrepreneurship. And we have seen how in the recent years there's been more and more interest among your generation in trying to understand what can be done, what new opportunities can be developed. Those, of course, exist in established companies or in established industries. But there's also a new world to be discovered and created. And we're very proud about an event that we started some years ago, which is the Italian Tech Week that we do in Torino, our hometown. And the first edition, which was back in 2018, a young entrepreneur from your country, Turkey, Demet Mutlu, who's the founder of a very successful company, Trendyol, came. And it was very inspiring, the example she gave us of a young woman from your country and what she was trying to achieve. And that example is one that resonated very much. And since then, we have continued developing it. We also have launched a program which really wants to stimulate giving some funding to who has the will and the desire of initiating a new company. So thinking about the future, I also want to share this with you because I feel that what is ahead and what all of you are going to be able to do, which is in your hands, for the wonderful things that you have achieved, is going to be very positive for your country and for the world. And as I conclude this speech, I'd like to return to my grandmother, Marella, who through her young eyes discovered your country in the autumn of 1938 by looking out of the palace of Palazzo Venezia, a few kilometers from here. In the pages in her memoirs that I referenced at the beginning, my grandmother recalled the great fear she felt upon seeing the warships cutting through the Sea of Marmara and crossing the Bosphorus, sinister omens of a conflict that would soon shake the whole world. My last message to you is about peace. The painful experience of the Second World War taught us the value of peace. In peace, our countries grew, developed, and were able to offer new opportunities. Now, that war has returned to Europe, we must remember how precious peace is and work together for its soonest return. For everyone's sake, for our own, and above all, for your future. I am very grateful to have been here with all of you today, and I wish you all iyi şanslar. Which in Italy we say in bocca al lupo.